to Zod. Y'all should worship Zod. All
You
right.
you fucked up. You fucked up.
And that's how we're starting the show. What's up, YouTube? This is Letters to the Living Dead, hosted by JP, the Living Dead Girl, facilitated by yours truly, DJ Gonzo, and special guest on our panel tonight. We have J-Bo. What's up, people? How are we doing tonight?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hi.
I'm writing numbers down for this.
You gotta put your phone closer to your face.
I can't because I have a lap full of paperwork so I can organize these numbers for us all. See?
Nice. What you folks don't know out there is we've been doing a little research for you. It's like phone hotlines and a bunch of other good factoids and whatnot. So let's jump into something. Who's got something to jump into? Let's treat this like an AA. Who's got a burning desire?
I want to talk about how it's bullshit that everybody makes these fake ass memes with self-help numbers on them, and a majority of the self-help numbers are straight bullshit. I think that's a bunch of bullshit because you know what? If I was in crisis and I went to call the suicide prevention line and I got, hello, fellas, to talk to a hot, sexy lady, push this, I'm probably going to just want to go kill myself because you know what? That's pretty fucked off. So let's talk about how people like seem to take this shit and make it into a joke even when it's not.
Damn, which totally killed my response to that. But it's true, though. There's so much false information out there. Like, it needs to be set up where there's, like, certain numbers you can call. But we're going to give you good numbers tonight. At some point, we'll have her read them out to you.
The numbers that you received tonight are going to be legitimate numbers. They have been tried by everybody. Well, they've been tried by the members of Letters to the Living Dead to make sure that these numbers are legit and that you yourself will not find any sexy numbers that kids shouldn't be getting who might need help.
Right, absolutely.
Just like I think that they're Dead Girl, correct me if I'm wrong, but there is a bullying number that's only active during certain hours, and then once it's no longer active throughout the business hours, you get directed to the suicide hotline.
Yes, but the thing is I still can't track down that bullying number. Even calling, what I find is sending me directly to the suicide hotline anyways. So I think it may be just a link because you can pick different options on the suicide hotline. So I think maybe it just may be a different option off of the regular call.
Okay. Well, I was going to say that's one of my issues. But then another issue that I have is for someone, I'll use myself as an example. For someone who is seeking help with anger or rage or something to that effect, they immediately get sent to, what was it, domestic abuse hotline?
Yes. Domestic violence awareness.
Yeah, like people who suffer from rage and anger, we're not looking to go out and cause harm on other people. We're just pissed, and we don't necessarily 100% understand why. And we're looking for someone who's going to be able to help us understand why we're angry or whatever the case may be.
Well, I think I may have found a solution for that. There is a number that you can text at any time, any hour, any day, 741-741, and you reach an actual certified counselor who will text you back and talk to you through your issues. I have tried this, I verified it, and immediately I got a response back asking what my crisis was.
Nice.
Okay, so what about those of us who are concerned about price? Is there...
Nope, it's a free thing. They call or you text them. You don't even have to get on the phone with these people. You can do it all through text. And it's just basically, it's like, okay, you got the suicide hotlines where you call and you talk to people and it's for free.
Mm-hmm.
This is a text where if you're incapable or you're not comfortable of talking to a stranger, because a lot more people now day and age have become prone to not being wanted to talk on the phone, but are okay talking to strangers through text. So they just text this number and they automatically get a response back from a counselor.
Okay. That number again was 741-741.
Correct.
Okay.
Since we're talking about phone numbers, let's give another phone number out. You can call us anytime. We check our voicemails. You can call us now live on air if you got something you're going through, you want to talk to somebody, any comments to what we're talking about, please call in. It's 928-529-3271. And for our
with me, so you get to talk to me.
huh?
I have a phone with me, so they'll get to talk to me.
Yes, you can call right now and talk to the Living Dead Girl right now. If you call that number. And if you don't speak English, the number is 928-529-3271. There you go.
Right.
You speak Spanish. You can talk to him though.
Yeah, you gotta talk to me if you speak Spanish. And mine's, I do all right. So, tú tienes problemas, tú tienes pedo, tú quieres hablar con las personas en la radio show, then dile el number 928-529-3271. All right. That's kind of cool.
Bro, like I'm rather impressed.
Right? Oh, I speak the Spanish. Okay, you guys want to get into some statistics?
Let's hear some statistics.
I want to hear something from our guest. He's been sitting back there just.
Why is he being so quiet? I picked Jabo because I knew he'd have a lot to say. Jabo, what's going on with you today?
Oh man, so I've just been hanging out with the kids today, but since we're talking about mental health and everything like that, I think one thing that's interesting is how you nurture it. Because a lot of people that are depressed, comedians, songwriters, poets, I mean, Shakespeare killed himself and he's often regarded as one of the best playwrights in all of history. And I think that if you just focus on what your depression makes you excel at, for me, for instance, it's writing. I write a lot of poetry and short stories. Wouldn't view things the way I did if I wasn't crippled with depression. But one thing I think that's really cool about that is back when we had tribes and everything like that, people that expressed traits of schizophrenia, they were considered as chosen and they were taken to be led under the wing of the group shaman. And they were often, it was treated as a gift. And nowadays, like, since we don't understand it, we're thrown into these institutions that are made to feel crazy. And you got to take this pill, then you got to take that pill to combat the side effects from that pill. And a lot of the way that you nurture or view your depression will, or whatever it is that you are dealing with, the way you nurture it and the way you view it is going to have a huge outcome on the way that it affects you personally, if that makes sense.
Makes a ton of sense. It's weird now how everything's a boxed in society. Do it by the rules, A, B, C, D. You know, it's life painted by numbers and shit. But yet, that's like asking someone with schizophrenia, two of our hosts here deal with, to fit a triangle into a square box. It's just not going to fit, you know. And that's one of the reasons why this show is here, is for people to realize that, you know, there's other people going through all this just like you. You know what I mean?
This show's for the triangles.
Right? I love the triangles. Now we're all Illuminati, though, by the way.
No Illuminati confirmation.
You know what I really hate, and I think you can vouch for this too. I don't know, it probably happened. But okay, for me, once somebody like, okay, for existence, for my ex, he knows about my shit that goes on. Okay, so when we would really get in a fight, he would use that shit against me and be like, I didn't do it. You did that to yourself and yada, yada, yada. And sit there and try to make me feel absolutely batshit, knowing I wasn't the one that put these bruises on me. It was him. But yet everyone's going to believe him because I'm schizophrenic.
Right? Did that ever happen to you guys?
Yeah. I had a few instances where I would get into an argument with my kid's parent, my kid's mother, right? And it escalate to the point where I would say some fucked up shit to her. Right? I don't remember anything that I actually said to her, but this is what she told me. I would say some fucked up shit to her. But if she brought it up to anybody else, they'd laugh at her and just be like, no, you're just crazy, because she's also got her mental issues. But I guess because, and I don't know why, but I guess because I could manage it better or make it seem like I managed it better, she was viewed more as the crazier one, and I was one who was right. So I was on the other side. I sort of.
Right.
And see, and me being the living dead girl's partner, it's tough knowing things like that and trying to make sure that it doesn't line up and seem like that to her when we have our own issues. You know what I mean? Just so that, because I know what she goes through. So it adds a little extra weight on those that are dealing with people that have either a higher instability or, you don't, and they do,
Mm-hmm.
Did we find a phone number for, like, you know how they have Al-Anon for alcoholics, but for people trying to deal with loved ones that deal with mental health issues? There's not.
I haven't found one yet, but I haven't had much time to go through and do much research. So there may be one, but at this present time, I do not have one to hand out.
As far as like mental health specifically, however, there is still that text line for the counselor, so maybe that can help out.
Right. I'm sure that somebody could text that and be like, okay, well, it's not me, but like my significant other seeing things, yada, yada, yada. What can I do to help her?
Right.
Right. Exactly. Let's jump into some of these statistics here, because I found this is kind of interesting. I think we got to talk about. It says 1 in 5 adults in America experiences a mental illness. Right. It says nearly 1 in 25 adult Americans live with a serious mental illness. And the one that kind of caught my eye was 1/2 of all chronic mental illness begins by the age of 14, and 3/4 of it by the age of 24. I wonder why it starts and it forms itself by the age of 14. Do you guys got any insight on that?
I don't know, but on my end, Michael, when you play music, turn it down some. I just got a message saying that it's really, really loud on Spreaker.
Okay.
Okay, now somebody's going to answer that question. Sorry, guys.
Wait, when I play music?
Yeah, it's really loud.
Okay. Well, that's dealt with. Thank you, speaker listeners, tuning in on it. Much love. We appreciate that. All right, back to the question.
All the feedback is awesome too, so thank you.
Oh yeah, we can't do any of this without you guys. You guys are the reason why we're here, why we do this.
Just like yes.
Right? Absolutely. But we don't want donations. We just want you to donate your time to check it out. You never know what you might learn, especially on this show. The couch, I don't know what you're going to learn, but it's fun.
I don't know. If you're willing to give me donations, I will take donations. Like, I'm trying to get me a Roomba before my baby comes. Because I don't want to have to sit here and vacuum and take care of 3 dogs and a newborn. Like, so, yeah, I will take donations. Living Dead Girl, hit up the page. I will get you a link to send it to. I don't care. Help my Roomba drive.
Your Roomba dreams?
Yeah, because I need a motherfucking Roomba.
I don't want to wait for one month to be over.
Like 3 or 4 people already messaged me and say, dude, just set up a GoFundMe. We'll help.
Right? And actually, this helps you viewers, because the more there's a Roomba around here doing shit, the more time I have to help bring out these awesome shows that you watch. So they want me on air more, make my housework easier.
Hey.
It's hard because I'm allergic to his dog, so he's got to do a lot of the cleaning when it comes to vacuuming and shit.
My dog's a hairy bush. True story. I love the silence there.
You need to go back to your question, though, that I totally ruined.
Okay, back to the question. Why do you think that
I have
chronic
an answer.
mental illness starts before the age of 14? One half of all chronic mental illness begins by the age of 14 and 3/4 by the age of 24. I heard someone had an answer. J-Bo.
That I do. So I am no doctor, so this is purely speculation, but around the age of 14, like you're going through puberty pretty strong, and a lot of the chemicals in your brain could be becoming imbalanced at that time as your body is going through the changes. And then most of it would be set in later because by the time you're 24, you've had the time to have a heartbreak, this problem, that problem, get beat up by a girlfriend or a boyfriend, whatever it is you're dating. And there's time there between the balance of your brain that a lot of 14-year-olds nowadays are fucking doing more drugs than just smoking weed. I know I started doing acid when I was 14, so that could also have something to do with it. And it's just your brain chemistry is changing and you're doing things that are allowing it to be altered even more.
I completely agree.
Good point. Now the question is, how much is affected by the environment in which you grew up?
A lot
Right.
of it. I would say at least 50%.
You think so? About 50?
I think about 50% is your living environment, like your family, the home you grow up in. 25% is your outside environment, like your neighborhood, things like that, and outside sources. And then I think the other 25 is pretty much what you take out of it and make it.
Okay, good point. Good point. What do you think, JP?
Ta-da! Like that's exactly like what I would have said, like word for word. like,
Wow.
like
Whoa.
me. I have noticed, as J-Bo said, no doctor, just from personal experience, I have noticed a trend that a lot of the people that I know who do suffer from any kind of mental illness, again, it starts that early on, but I've also noticed that that's usually around the time where some kind of traumatic event will also take place too. I know a lot of us
talked in our last show about.
Yep, a lot of us were raped, a lot of us were molested, there's a lot of people out there who were beaten as children, there's a lot of people out there who were neglected as children, and Lord only knows what kind of effect that's going to have on, just as J-Bo said, the growing adolescent mind, who at this time is still chemically advanced.
I want to add something to that. Okay, so you take the other people, the people that have been molested and stuff, and now that are adults that grew up not having a significant amount of parenting and resources that they probably should have. Now they're having kids. So now not only is their shitty parenting having a real effect on this, but now is causing neglect and lack of parenting on the next set of generations because the parents weren't taught how to be parents and shit like that, if that makes sense.
Very, very, very astute thinking there. I really like the point of views and that what you guys have brought up in this. Now, the other part of it was 3/4 by the age of 24. Now, do you think that, like you kind of touched on it with them having babies? Okay, when you're hitting 18, 21, 24, that's when life sets in, like the mandates of the society we live in, the getting a job, the careers, the family, and all the other pressures land on it.
Is I think if it wasn't pushed so much at a younger age that, instead of accepting a child that's hyper and wants to go run around and doesn't want to sit still because that's what society has put on our children. So, he's got ADHD, let's put him on meds. I think it's a lot of that. And then, so when you get to 24, it's already set in your mind. Like for me, like something was wrong with me. Like I didn't know what was wrong with me, but I know something's wrong with me because I got parents that are putting me in this home and that home, taking me to this doctor and that doctor. And you know what? who's to say there was really anything wrong with me to begin with? But now there certainly is something wrong with me because I was pumped with all these medications. It's been in my head for the last, okay, well, I'm 33, but say 24. By 24, I already knew like there was something wrong with me. I was crazy because if I wasn't, my parents wouldn't have put me here and there. And so instead of separating myself like I should have from what my parents did and things along that lines and what happened growing up, I should have started from myself and blocked out of my mind like, oh, well, because they said this and I'm on this medication, then something must be wrong with me. And I think pounding that in your children's and young adult head, by the time they're going to start their own family and shit, it's already in their head. So things are only getting worse because they already believe that something's wrong with them.
Good point. Good point. Anybody else want to touch on it?
JP. So kind of like a form of Munchausen syndrome, where you don't believe you yourself think you're sick, but because you've been told by someone who's a trusted loved one that you are sick over time, that you just say, you know what, forget it. I must be sick and crazy.
Exactly.
Okay.
Any ideas on that, J-Bo?
None that I could articulate at the moment.
Okay, yeah, no worries. All right, well, let's check out these percentages here. It's kind of, these are the prevalence of mental illness by diagnosis. It says, there's 5 of them here, or 4 of them here. It says 1 in 100, that's 2.4 million American adults live with schizophrenia. It says 2.6%, which is 6.1 million American adults live with bipolar disorder.
No, I want to know on those statistics, like the first one was schizophrenia. Is it mental schizophrenia or is it drug-induced schizophrenia? How was this done? And what was the percentage of them testing regular patients and people that are drug-induced of any form?
True, good point. We also have 6.9%, that's 16 million American adults live with major depression. And it also says 18.1% of American adults live with anxiety disorders. Now, I was talking with my brother, the simple one, earlier today, and he was talking about a lot of people that treat mental illness like a trend. So when they talk these numbers with depression and he's talked these numbers with anxiety disorders, like you questioned the schizophrenia one, I have to kind of question these for those that, because to me it seems like we're a culture that's gotten really soft, overly sensitive on stuff. Mm-hmm. And I think it kind of detours away from people that actually suffer through these things. You're going to have a bad day. You might have a bad week. It does not mean that.
And I personally feel that everybody to a certain degree suffers from some type of anxiety and some type of depression. I mean, look at females when they have babies, people that have never been depressed in their life. They go through postpartum depression sometimes. And you do that, and that sometimes people have it for 5, 10, multiple years until babies are grown up and they're still stuck in this postpartum depression. I believe everybody has some type of anxiety and form of depression in their body, and it just depends on how they deal with it and bring it out.
Which is true. I mean, when it does come down to it, only you yourself really know, you know. Right. And if you're trend chasing out there, just stop it, because you're actually hurting people. You're not helping anybody whatsoever. That the people that really need help need help. You know,
Speaking of needing help, I think right now would be a perfect time to start hollering out some phone numbers right quick, and then we'll hop back to the percentages.
Sounds good to me, guys.
I mean, to me personally, after someone, okay, me personally, I'm not gonna speak for anybody else. Me personally, having sitting here listening to not only memories that I've got that I have to recant, recall and everything like that, but to hear other stories and everything, it kind of starts hitting certain things that trigger it to set in. So I medicate, you know what I mean? So once I medicate, I feel it's best to give other people who don't have the opportunity to medicate for instance, you have numbers you can call. You can call us. We've got that number out there. You can always call the suicide hotline number. That's 1-800-273-8255.
I
I
don't
think
think anybody's aware of this, but Suicide Hotline also has a LGBT community hotline number for them, and it's 1-800-246-PRIDE, which would be 1-800-246-7743.
there you go. You said you had one for
I have 3 pages and numbers.
domestic violence awareness.
Okay, so the domestic violence, it's a domestic violence hotline actually.
There we go.
And it's 1-800-799-7233. And there's also a number for if you speak Spanish. And I'm waiting for Michael to run back in here and say it.
Okay. Right now.
Gonzo to the rescue.
This is the domestic violence. Okay, what I just said. The domestic violence.
Okay. Esto es para doméstico violencia. El número es 1-800-5782. Basta. Uno más tiempo para ti, para las personas hablar español. 1-800-5782. 1-800 basta. There you go.
That was sexy.
Right? I don't even know what he's saying, and I'm like, ooh.
Ay, papi.
I also have a mental health hotline, and that's 1-800, or my bad, it's not 1-800. I just lied to you guys. 1-877-604-6819.
Yeah.
Now, if anyone's looking for a good time, call 8675-309.
309.
Hey, no joke on that. I literally remember every zip code out here, even though the numbers are wrong to that rhythm. So I remember zip codes. I'll be over talking about 86409.
So I got a really important number to give out there. This is for not only teens and young children, but also for adults. Self-harm. If you have self-harming issues and you need somebody to talk to, you should call 1-800-366-8288. That's for adults. But if you're a young child or even a teen, you could call 1-800-723-8255 or 800-273-TALK.
I say it's 273.
Yeah, 273.
Yeah. I was like, wait, no.
Right. So now we got the number right. You can put down the knife and pick up a phone, make a phone call, and they're going to talk you down. They're going to talk you out of it. You know,
in all seriousness, he's dead ass right. He's dead ass right. Put that knife down. Put the gun down. Step off the stool. Whatever you're about to do, don't do it. Your life is worth much more than what you think it might be. Just take that time. Call us. Call any of those numbers listed. I'm sure we'll be able to find a way to get them in the description of the video or in the comments of the video. Whatever it takes, we'll get you those numbers. But dead ass serious, please do not be afraid to call out to any one of us, anybody out there. Do not be afraid. You're not alone, and you do not have to go it alone.
I just want to put out there that if you hit me up, you need to let me know that you were like dead serious and actually need help. Because I'm a sarcastic asshole, and I tell my husband I'm going to go slip my wrist in the bathtub when I take baths at night. So I'm going to need you to like make sure you tell me that, like, yeah, this is real. Like, because I don't want to be the cause of somebody killing themselves, and I got a mouth and I'm very sarcastic. So, yeah.
Which is what we deal with. And I think a good person with humor that deals with his issues. Another reason why I asked you to come on here, JP, is J-Bo, is because of your morbid sense of humor. Your what the fuck did this dude just write? It gets me through my days. If I have that day, I read your shit, I'm like, dude, this guy's fucking killing me. Do you use humor to what's the word for it? Detract? Depression?
I use humor to distract because a lot of what I say, like, what's up, kiddo? Well, tell her there's 2 controllers, so you need one. Because a lot of the stuff I say is it's actually very blatantly honest, but I say it with the tone or just fuck up the wording a little bit, and that makes it funny.
It does, right? But humor, this is a subject we touch a lot. Humor is a lot of how we go through stuff. We get through stuff because, like, I'll annoy her and tell her, some shit like, "Oh, you ain't getting that tonight," and she'll tell me, "Go kill yourself," which I know she don't mean, but it comes across as funny. So, like, it has its time and place. But if it's dealing with someone that actually needs something, then it's not time to play. It's not an attention grabber. Shouldn't be, anyways.
Right, definitely should never be. If you honestly feel like you need to fucking kill yourself or attempt to kill yourself to get the attention from the loved ones that you think you have around you, you might want to start rethinking about what kind of love they're giving you.
And actually, you know what? You're giving up, say, maybe 6 months of people really showing how much they miss you and cared for you for a lifetime of that when you kill yourself. You're missing out on the possibilities of a lifetime of love from these people and other people because you didn't give yourself a chance. Like, I will never take away anybody's right to do it. If you're going to do it, I get it. I understand. But am I going to talk you out of it?
Opposite. And I'm not one to sit there, like, I'll talk to somebody, but I go through this, and you know what? Like, if somebody's going to kill themselves, then I know what they've been through. If they can't take it no more, then, it sucks, but I'm not going to hate them because you know what? I wouldn't want everybody to hate me because if I ever go out that way, it's because that's my last resort and nothing can be fixed. So, and everybody knows what I've gone through. So I would hope that nobody would hate me if that's what I chose to do.
Absolutely. Our production, our company, Gonzo Styles, as it is, and all its entities, it started from the Dr. Hunter Thompson. And in one of the things he wrote, I'm just going to paraphrase it because I'll get the quote wrong. Pretty much goes on to say that if he felt like he didn't have that right, he didn't feel like he didn't have that choice to kill himself, then it would pretty much.
If I didn't know I could kill myself at any moment, I would feel incredibly trapped.
Right.
Boom! Thank you. Direct quote, right?
As best as I remember it.
Hey, thank you. I was getting the gist, but you got it more to the point. Gotta love the fucking good old doctor, who, by the way, did kill himself February 25th, 2003, I think. Which is a shame. Another great one we lost. All right, any more comments on anything? Or are we going to jump ahead and check out some other stuff?
Well, I am going to have to take off to go drop off my kid, but I have one thing I can say beforehand, before I have to leave everybody. I've been struggling with my mental health very, very poorly recently. As a matter of fact, it's only been a guaranteed thing that I wasn't going to kill myself for like 2 to 3 weeks now. And the one thing that I did, these things that helped me, and hopefully it helps someone else, is I started with very, very little things, like washing the dishes or taking the trash out, things that made me feel productive. I started talking to people again because I haven't talked to anybody in like 6 or 7 years, and that helped. And I made my own little personal goals that have been helping. But just those 3 things alone, just talking, small house chores and stuff and setting up goals for yourself has helped me tremendously. Also, another thing that's good to know is that maybe you got out of bed today and that's all you fucking did. Or maybe you didn't do this, but focus on what you did and what you did not do.
Amen.
Very good point. Very good point. I've always said that, if you're having the worst times in your life, and one day I'll share a story where this actually affected somebody. But if you get up in the morning and the first thing, like I said, just waking up, or even go eat a bowl of cereal, go eat that bowl of Trix, and you know what? That fucking bowl of Trix might be the best thing in your whole day, but it was a small thing. When you start to appreciate those smaller things, doing those chores, the stuff you were talking about, it makes everything so much easier because you can see the big things coming that trip you up, but not the small things. So when you start working on the small things, your life just gets a lot better. It has to,
That's why I'm so excited to be having the baby in August. Like, because you know what? Yeah, it's going to get irritating, all the midnight feedings and things, but you know what? It gives me reason to get up. Like, my baby is my reason to live now.
Another good point. Very valid. Well, Jay, man, I know you got to get the kids back. We appreciate you coming on. And I'm not going to lie, I saw you going through some stuff. I thought, fuck it, I'm going to get him on the show. So I'm glad you got to come on. And I'm sure, to those listening, that your words were encouragement and very helpful for him today, brother. We appreciate you coming on.
I got one question for you, J-Bo. Did coming on
What's
this
happening?
show help you at all?
Yes and no. Yes
Can
and
you
no. I got a
elaborate on
lot
that real
of.
quick?
I heard a lot of good information. I need to figure out how to apply it to myself. So the help is there. I just haven't figured out how to apply it yet.
Okay.
Okay, so just know that I have 3 pages of phone numbers. Don't be afraid to reach out to me.
I definitely will not. If you guys want me on the show again, I'd be more than happy.
Oh, absolutely, brother. Absolutely.
That's for sure.
All right,
right on, y'all.
Peace out.
Bye.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming on.
Anytime. I hope y'all have a good night.
Oh, you too, brother. Thank you. It's hard to figure out how to get it off, huh?
Son of a bitch. I dropped my phone. I dropped shit. No, actually,
there we go.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard for people to figure out how to get off of here. That's how I trap them afterwards. I knew he had to go, but now I do want to tell that story, though. I'll tell it to him later. Okay, apparently what I just said, I've been saying for a lot of time and through the years. Obviously in a deep addiction and stuff, but more of a catalyst, helping others, and couldn't help myself. A family comes in with a 13-year-old, and the lady asks me, "Do you remember him?" I'm like, "No, I don't remember him." He goes and he plays with the claw machine. And she goes, "About 5 years ago, he lost his dad. And he'd been struggling with it for a couple weeks. We came in to eat at your Denny's, and you gave us that speech. We're talking to us about it. That kid never forgot my words and was really happy to come and tell me about it afterwards. Like, that shit hit me. I was like, damn. So, me personally, I'm glad to be able to do shows like this now,
Right.
Be able to get guys on here. I just want to share that story. Like,
no, definitely, dude. Definitely. That's awesome.
I think back about that whenever I've gone through stuff, and it's always kind of helped me. Like, I don't want to let that kid down. Like, he went through some fucked up shit, and like, he was still pushing through. Happy 13-year-old. He's probably in his 20s now, but if he happens to be listening, kid, rock on, dude. I'm proud of you. All right. What else we got for tonight? You guys want to get some more statistics?
To be honest with you, like I said, like we had talked earlier, I do got to take off. I got this new job I got coming up here.
Yes, 12 it has been an hour.
Yeah. So
that's right. Statistics don't go nowhere. I still got them.
Right. That's right. So with that being said, as far as like any last statements?
I think before you go, we need to touch bases on how we're not doing this every week anymore.
Oh yeah, I was gonna do that after I got done with the statement.
Okay.
But yeah, so the plan. So we'll do that first, just so that we can get that addressed, so that I don't forget to. The thing is, as anybody who actually goes, because to what Gonzo said, there's a lot of people, and I agree. Yes, dead girl that everybody to a point does suffer from something, whether it be anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, anger, rage, whatever the case. Some people go through something every day, right? But to Gonzo's statement earlier, this society has become one of the softest fucking pussies I have seen in a long time. Like, you go through any decade of history outside of the 70s, we are the softest that society has become. Maybe not the 70s, maybe the 60s and 50s. But still, like, to be in that, like, I'm missing the point. The point, what I'm trying to say is that those who actually go through, the heavy issues of, rage, the heavy issues of schizophrenia, multiple personality disorder, bipolar, manic depression, all sorts of fun stuff. It's draining on a person, and myself, I would speak for myself, but I know that Dead Girl and I have spoken, and we both have kind of agreed that you do a show like this, and you bring up these memories, you bring up these thoughts, and you bring up all this shit that just drains you out because you're trying to make sure you can contain what's bothering and what's triggering everything that's going on with you, while still being able to give the show that the fans need. And so after these shows, when it's week to week like this, Monday comes around and I'm still fucking drained. Tuesdays, I'm still drained. I'm starting to get better, but I'm still drained. Wednesdays, well, shit, okay, I'm neither drained nor, revitalized. I'm just kind of meh. Thursday comes around, I'm getting better. Friday, it's a decent day. Saturday is, all right, cool, here's the show again the next day. So to give mine and Dead Girl's sanity a chance at all, I would like to announce that we are going to be doing a cutback on the show for a little bit. We're going to do bi-weekly. I haven't gotten a chance to discuss this with neither Gonzo nor Dead Girl, but I had the idea of possibly bringing in other hosts for the show, and we could start having multiple hosts for Letters to the Living Dead. But that's something that we could definitely discuss later on.
Kind of what we do when we bring on like J-Bo. We had Silent. We have I'm okay. Every week I would like to bring on a special guest. Like if they only want to stay on for like 15, 20 minutes, then we can bring two people on that week.
Yep, exactly.
And I think he was also saying, like, on the weeks you guys don't want to do it, maybe run it with other hosts.
Yeah, exactly. On the weeks that we need off, we can have other hosts pop in, and you can get somebody else's take. Because not only is it nice to have a show like this, because I'm sure this show, had I had this growing up, I'd be glued to this fucking show like a motherfucker, because you guys would be talking about and have been talking about shit that I was questioning and didn't understand and needed help with growing up. I still do. That's why I'm part of the show. That's why I'm grateful to be part of the show, because it gives me other outlooks and other avenues and other voices that I'm hearing that are actually productive instead of destructive. Right. So with that, I want to personally announce, as part of Letters to the Living Dead, that until we do come upon two other hosts that want to take over for us in the opposite weeks that we don't want to have, so we can get our strengths back, we will be going to a bi-weekly show. That will be our schedule every other Sunday. So 2 weeks from today, that would be, tomorrow's the 1st, so that puts next Sunday the 7th, so the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the 14th, April 14th, your favorites, JP, Living Dead Girl, and Gonzo, we're all going to be back. Until then, go ahead, and these are all on the YouTube page, so you can all go back and rewatch these and laugh at our stupidity and our knuckleheadedness and cry through the tears that we cry through, and just laugh at some of the fun, stupid shit that we even, put ourselves through in some of our stories. It's fun to laugh at ourselves once in a while too. Make sure you do laugh at yourself, but not all the time.
Right. The funny thing is when I mean funny, like, if you want to think, oh, is this real? Like, are these people about it? I know how draining it is just to do a show with the artist high type thing, but to do it in such an open and honest way as you guys do, that you guys are with people you don't even know. So if you want to question if this is real or not, there it is, folks. Like, it drains these two so hard that we can't do it as often. But don't think we don't love you just as much as before. We still do. We're just gonna make it count every 2 weeks, and we'll see what we do about getting some other people up here for the weeks in between or whatnot. You can always reach out to the Gonzo Styles page. You can reach out to the Living Dead Girl page. You can reach out to DJ Gonzo. I'm on Facebook. And where can they reach you on Facebook if they need something in the meantime?
Yeah, you can reach me on my Stampede page. That's for damn sure. You hit me up for anything. I don't give a damn.
On that Stampede page too.
What's up?
They can reach me on Stampede also.
That's right. Yep. You can also reach out Living Dead Girl over there too.
See, so it's out there, folks. I'll give you guys one number here one more time for us. Read back through. Probably on one of our pages, we'll post all those numbers so that legit numbers are out there for everybody. But yet again, if you want to call us, the number is on the Gonzo Styles page, but I'll give it to you one more time, 928-529-3271. And unless we got anything else really to go, YouTube will be jumping off of here. Spreaker, I'm going to end it with Storm Breaks. This song is like the song of the show right now. I can't claim it because we ain't paid rights and stuff to it, but yeah, you know, they're buddies of ours. It's Cult Music Crew Storm Breaks.
Please, one more time. I want to hear you say the phone number in Espanol.
The phone number in Spanish, one more time for JP. Mira, la número para ti en español es 92852. Ay, cabrón, I did it wrong. It's 1-92852-93271 para ti. Tú tienes problemas en su vida, tú tienes problemas con la familia, o tú tienes problemas, tienes pedo. Dile con sus amigos on Letters to the Living Dead. Ok, uno más tiempo para la número 92852293227. All right, folks, that's 928-529-3271.
I fucking love it.
Are we not live no more?
We are still live on both still. We are done? We're out?
Yes, I need to say something before JP hangs up.
Okay, real quick. All right, folks, you're watching. You're listening to Letters to the Living Dead. It's a Gonzo Styles promotion, and it's available to you on Spreaker.com/loudassradio. Hit the more button. You'll see us right there. We got tons of great shows on Loud Ass Radio. You should check it out. Also on WickedTendency.com, you can find all your Gonzo Styles productions there, plus YouTube. The channel you are on now, just check it out, Gonzo Styles Radio. And coming up soon, Planet 13, the app. Get all your video streaming, music streaming, podcast loving ass shit in one app. Check it out. We're going to be on there, all of our shows. All right, folks, we're out. Peace out. Keep it Gonzo, people.